Hello and welcome to this tutorial for Rhino 7. Today we're just going to be covering the general interface for Rhino 7 for any beginners learning to 3D model with Rhino 7. And yeah, let's just get into it. So the first thing you'll want to do, you can hit, if you're on the Macs, you'll hit Command and Spacebar. It'll bring up your spotlight. You'll type in Rhino, and you can see it already pops up, Rhino 7. And I already had it open, so it shouldn't take any time to load for me, but once you open it, it'll bring up this sort of pre-start window, and this will let you choose your template. As you can see, we have a bunch of different ones over here. For anything like jewelry or small objects, you can always select small objects. But for whatever thing you're wanting to do, always work in millimeters. And working in millimeters is just easier to measure things and to sort of add and subtract to get the right measurements of things. So once you have that selected, and you can just always click, and your small objects, millimeters is your default template. So once you have that selected, you'll just go over to New Model. And then it'll open up the main window. As you can see here, I'll go ahead and make that full screen. So to start, we want to look at what our grid is doing. This is a good place to start. So if I go to my top view, you can see I have this grid with one really dark red line going up and one going out to the right. This will be your y-axis, and this will be your x-axis. And it'll be indicated down here in the bottom left. But let's take a look at more in depth of our grid. So if you go up to the top where it says Rhino 7, File, Edit View, and other stuff, you'll just go to File and Settings, and it'll default go to the grid setting. And so you can see my grid properties. So my line count is 200. My minor grid lines every 1 millimeter, and every major line is 10 millimeters. So what is that supposed to mean? So what this means is, if I were to count every single little box, if I zoom all the way in, you have these small boxes here. Just like this, the box tool. So I got one box there. So that is 1 millimeter. That box is 1 millimeter because it's sort of taking up this one spot. So, and then in each of these boxes is 10. So this big box where you can see this sort of darker grayer line, that'll be 10 millimeters, and whichever direction that you go. And that's what your major lines every 10 millimeters. Sorry. So that's what that means. And then if I were to zoom all the way out, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I have 20 going up from the center, and then 20 going to the right. So in each direction is 200 millimeters because each of these gray boxes is 10. So you'll do 20 times 10 is 200. So. And then if you go the full length, of course, that's going to double. So from this side to this side is 400. From this side to this side is 400 as well. And that's basically it for the grid.